Fun in the Sun with Colin and Marty.
Welcome to Startalk with your hosts, Colin and Marty.
Startalk? Are we live? We are live. Welcome to Startalk.
I can hear you.
And this is exciting to be back. And last week we were broadcasting from Phoenix. How fun was that?
Well, that was fun for you and Garnet. I remained on the West Coast.
I'm trying to find the comments here.
Okay, go for it.
Because I'm driving the bus tonight.
You do it.
Yeah. So good to see you, old friend. What's been going on? And I heard my mom said there was some snow up where you are.
Yeah, there was some snow. It was about an inch. Lasted for about 3 hours. I mean, it rained. It snowed through the night, and then in the morning it was there, and an hour and a half later it was gone.
Wow.
And then rain, and that it's pretty. It's not like Mexico, but it's very, very uppity, up and down. 1 minute it's freezing, the next minute it's hot.
It was kind of windy here today.
Yeah, very windy here too. But
March winds. That's what they say.
March winds.
So pretty excited to be on the show tonight. I was looking forward to it. I got my not my new, but my SM7 hooked up, and
nice microphone, nice
sounding
setup.
like good. I was going to put the green screen on in the background, but I don't have a green screen yet.
Well, that's fine.
But
you got an air conditioner.
But yeah, it's an air conditioning, a sliding door, and an open suitcase.
Yeah, you can leave at any moment.
Yeah, we could leave at any moment.
Fly anywhere. Have songs, we'll fly.
So tell me, Martino, we were talking about collectibles last week, and you've been talking about collecting small things. What do you mean by?
I decided to go smaller. I mean, big stuff takes up a lot of room, but I like little stuff. So I go for stuff like, I don't know how many people are Queen fans. I don't know. But I just go for something like this, a sealed Queen playing cards.
Wow.
52 different imagery of Queen on it. Concert footage, all in a little package like that. And
was that a new reissue since the movie, or is that from the actual Queen days?
That's a very good question.
Hey, the judge is in the house. Welcome, Tim.
Welcome to Judge.
Radio Man. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, but it does not say, unfortunately for us at this moment, a date. Oh, yes, it does. Pardon me. I stand corrected, old friend. 2008.
Oh.
8. So we're okay on that, I'd say. 14 years old. Sealed. Freddie Mercury gone. I think fairly good. I got a good one for you. Going to share this one for you because you're on it. I just happened to be moving some dusty stuff around and dusting some CDs and DVDs, and I came across this.
Oh, look at that.
Now, you talk about that because you're on every cut.
Yeah, that's the garage tapes, Bob's Garage.
That's right, outside of Seattle.
And if I go to my settings and put my virtual background on,
that's got you on it. There you
see that orange one at the top?
There's the small one, and Colin's got the thing framed and
right above my head there.
Right directly behind Colin's head. This was an amazing time. Colin sang all this stuff. He sang No Time. You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet.
I'm going to take this off.
Taking Care of Business. American Woman. Give me a break. So, I mean, this is definitely a collector's.
That is. I think I have 2 of those.
Yeah. And
I got to say hi to some guys here. We were at NFT Connect together in Phoenix, and welcome. Tim Judge is in the room. He's saying free the goats. We got My Crypto Adventures. Ray, he says, love Startalk. Great meeting you at NFT.
Yeah.
Great meeting you too, Ray. And Will, thanks. Hey, Will.
Hey.
Rochester, New York is in the house.
Yes.
Dan Smith. Thanks, Dan. Great to see you in Phoenix too. You know, Marty, it was so funny because the first night I was there,
Uh-huh.
they had a pizza night
Yeah.
at I always get his name wrong. Santini's
Needless to say. So,
needless to say, the pizza place. He's gonna hate me for that if he's on here.
no,
But,
I mean,
but
sponsor.
anyway, yeah. San Phoenix. I always trip over his name. Anyways, it was a big pizza night, and I was meeting all these people who knew me from watching the show.
Right.
And they would, hey, Colin, where's Marty? Everybody asked me about you. And I said, who are you? And he said, oh, I'm so-and-so, Santisi. Okay, thanks, Tim.
Yeah, pleased to meet
I was going Santorini, Santisi it is. So
easiest
it was
way, get a card.
because I don't know what these guys look like sometimes in the chat. And so when they come on, I say hi to them, but I don't know what their faces look like. So when they come up and say hi to me at Santisi's, it was really great. It was so much fun to meet people and face to face and say hi. And they remembered bits and pieces about the show. And
That's
a
great.
lot of people asked about you. It was pretty cool.
Is great.
You have a
go ahead.
You have a fan base.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's thanks to our years and years of effort together. We did the Let's Talk Rock, which was yours and mine, and we did Sirius there. We still got, actually, we have the Lost. We can actually call it the Lost Colin and Marty Let's Talk Rock tapes, because there's so many that have never been heard.
Never been heard. What I'm going to do is when I get home, we're going to press one. Let's do some a vinyl, and we'll do the best of Colin and Marty on vinyl.
Ooh.
And we'll put
like Larry and Willie.
Yeah, with Credence and all the different interviews that we did.
Oh yeah,
we'll put the best of the best. We'll edit it and put it on vinyl and on CD and on stick, whatever you want, and then we'll sell those or give them away as prizes.
We can give them away as prizes. I'd like to do that to people.
And then we can ultimately put it up on YouTube.
I would think you're right. I got one. I want to sneak it in. It's even smaller. So I'm going this way now too, sealed stuff. But this is a great story.
Sealed shiny. That's Stray Cats.
That's definitely Stray Cats.
Is that Choo Choo Hotfish?
You're right, Choo Choo Hotfish. And the magic about this, sealed, the story's coming right away, folks. But one cut on here is by none other than our former...
I can tell you the background behind that.
And Randy Bachman, Can't Go Back to Memphis.
That's right.
And that's the song that's on here. Now, when we toured with Ringo, and Randy was in the band in 1995, folks, it's a long time ago, we did the Hollywood Bowl 2 nights, sold it out both nights. On the second night, I get this notification that Dave Kaplan, many of you may or may not know who Dave Kaplan is, but he may still be, I'm not for sure, but in those days definitely was the manager of Stray Cats.
Wow.
So he says, we're going to have a party at my place in the Bel Air, up in the mountains of California. So you got to get the vans and get Ringo and his wife and the entourage like you saw in Seattle and everything like that, backstage, that whole thing out of the Hollywood Bowl over to this party.
Yeah.
So immediately get it all organized. Get there. Randy comes up to me and he says to me, "Hey, Martino, see this tape?" And it was a blank tape that just had "Can't Go Back to Memphis" on it in a thing, and I ran back music with a little copy.
I know the one. I got a story about that.
Yeah. So the bottom line, give it to them. So I says, I'm not giving it to them. You guys are to schmooze with them. I'm not doing business in front of Ringo and that. I'll find Dave, the manager, which I did. Ended up in his office. Long story short, bang to Dave, bang on the album. So very impressed with that. That was a nice coup.
Well, that'll blow my story because I was in Minnesota
Yeah.
and we were on tour with Blue Oyster Cult
Uh-huh.
and 38 Special.
Yeah.
And Randy came to my room with that
Uh-huh.
same cassette tape,
Right.
Can't Go Back to Memphis. And I
Right.
remember that song because it was like an upside down shaking all over.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he was asking me to stuff envelopes. He had all these envelopes pre-addressed, and he said, put stamps on these and put these tapes in. So we're mailing out tapes to everybody. You name it, probably 100 cassette tapes.
Sending them out.
And sending them out. And I pick up this one, and it's addressed to Brian Setzer.
Wow.
And I think to myself, Brian Setzer of the Stray Cats, I mean, there's so much 50s and 60s material that can be re-recorded. Plus, he writes his own material. In my mind, I'm going, why would he want to do this song?
True.
And so fast forward, we sent it. Fast forward a couple months later, he comes on the tour bus after being at a Sam Goody when we stopped for lunch. And he comes on swinging the bag, and he throws the bag at me. He goes, check it out. And I said, and I looked at it, and I pulled it out, and it was Can't Go Back to Memphis was on the back of Choo Choo Hotfish. So right then, my whole belief system changed. And it just goes to show the tenacity that he had, and to be able to mail those tapes out. And really the belief that, if you just keep on doing it, somebody's going to record your song. And it worked.
Reach out. If you've got something good, get it out there. Communicate.
Josh is here. He says, love my Starwire crew. And D-Ray Fishing says, Starwire is the GOAT. Greatest of all time. I love that. We got to get shirts made for that. Josh is saying, Colin is a stud at the piano. I got to show that.
I love that one. That's a good one. Get it made. He'll wear it.
That's so fun.
Be like Liberace.
Well, we've got a special guest. Dr. Andrea is here, and she's going to kind of wrap up what we were doing in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
And for those of you that don't know that are in the chat, Garnet is on a plane.
Yes.
And so he stayed on in Phoenix for a few more days.
And the new song.
He's actually coming home tonight. So Josh is saying, best happy birthday ever. We sang him happy birthday.
Did you?
So that was fun. Yeah. And he had the cake and everything.
Is that right?
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Marty, I interrupted. You got you got more stuff there. I got to see, and people want to
little things, but I want to throw in a funny one like you did. You set it up that Garnet's on a plane. I've got a better one. You're going to write the song Garnet's on a plane to the Ukraine.
Garnet's on the plane to the Ukraine. Oh, well, that will refrain.
I like it. That will be a refrain. So
that's insane.
That's insane. That's right. Here we have something that I don't think too many people have. This happens to be McCartney on the Run, but see where it's from. Live.
I can't see that. It's too glary. BC Place, Vancouver.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know he played there.
Yeah, he definitely played there. And
I saw him in Toronto.
Yeah. And a company by the name of Fab recorded him in 2012. And this happens to be
have you watched
210 minutes promo DVD.
Never seen it.
It's a promo.
Wow.
I gave it to me. It's got a total of
So Philip's in the room. He says, go Starwire, hashtag free the goats. And Tim says, I recorded Radio Man, which is one of my songs, live from the lobby in Arizona. See, Marty, I told you somebody was recording stuff.
So, so tell them we need it. And here's one that you'll remember. This was at a bargain price. I could not resist. When I saw this at this bargain price, I had to have it, folks. Now, when it came out, high priced. It tapered off. I waited. I picked up Bachman and Cummings DVD, their first time round, for none other than a grand price of $7.99.
Ah, good buy.
Good grab, folks. Good grab. Serious. Backstage, rehearsal footage, single version of American Woman on it.
Oh, we'll have to go and watch that one day.
We'll watch that one day. And then real quick, Another thing that I found from my merchandise days, when I used to do merch, I have a company called Cloth for Cash. Anyways,
Cloth for Cash. What does that do?
it's a merchandise company.
Oh,
That's all the merch that I did for Randy and for Burton and for all the bands and stuff like that. Elvis, Dr. Nick, that we did
all right.
similar to
Dr. Nick. I forgot all about that one.
Dr. Nick. That's for another time. But this is 94, 95 when the Stones came out on tour. Everybody thinks it's a tour book. It's not. It's actually a merchandise catalog with every piece of merch that the Stones were offering, and they made it into a book. That's how much merch they had.
Wow.
So every page is different.
How much do you think they made a tour on merch alone?
Merch exceeded the fee.
Wow.
The fee. And back in those days, they could take out of any given place between the fee and the merch, they could take out over $1 million or more dollars.
And they can do a lot more now.
Well, much, much more. But here you have them now going out yet again. And in Europe, in most giant places. But a good one for our listeners, and then we'll go right to Andrea. I'll get into. Oh, Vince Lee. I always think Garth Brooks and Vince Lee. Vince, he announced that himself and the Eagles are coming out in the fall of 2022, and they're doing the full Hotel California album live with a symphony orchestra.
Wow.
With
how many dates?
They showed 6.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine from Arizona sent it to me yesterday. He said, "Have a look at this, Vince Gill and the Eagles and the symphony. That'll be an amazing.
That will be amazing
to hear that." And some of their
I wonder if Glenn Fry's son will be playing.
That's right. Yeah, he'll be in. So that's unbelievable. Ringo starts, and he's going to be in Canada at Casino-Rama and near Niagara Falls. He's coming in rehearsing there for 3 days, and then he's going to do 2 shows back to back, Friday, Saturday. And he added Edgar Winter to the lineup.
Wow.
So he's got Lukather from Toto. And the ironic thing is, Toto replaced Billy Idol on the Journey tour, and Lukather finishes the Toto part of opening for Journey and has a week off. Then he jumps right into Ringo and the All-Star Band.
Well, he's one of the best session guitar players, one of the best guitar players in the world.
But he's also a full-time member of Ringo's band.
Wow.
Whether he's on salary, retainer, whatever, don't know that part. But a friend of ours said one thing: he's in solider than solid with them. So he is definitely going to be in touch with them, and he will personally ask Steve Lukather to come on the show.
Let's get him on Startalk Live.
That's what I'm saying.
I also had Steve Percaro. One of the guys from Session Wire was talking to him not too long ago.
Yeah.
And so we've got some connections, and Peter Frampton is another guy.
So that's good. They're active. They're another guy I'd like to get, which I think would add quality. Corky Lang from Mountain, because Felix is dead, Leslie is dead, Steve Knight, the keyboard player, is not suitable for interviews, but Corky has redone it again with Richie Scarlett from Ace Frehley's band and another guitar player, and he's done sort of like the new Mountain, Corky Lang's Mountain, and he's brought it back out. I'd love to have him on. He was head of the Musicians Union in Toronto, and he gave me amazing stuff on that band, Colin. He when I managed the band for a year for him, he gave me literally a box of the history of Mountain, such as I've never seen in my life.
Wow.
And
Harrison's in the room. Good evening, gentlemen, he says.
oh yeah, good evening,
That's good to see him.
Harrison.
And I like this one. I recorded Radio Man live from the lobby. I got to get a private copy of that so I can approve it for viewing.
No, you can record it. You thought the vocals no good. But
It was a lot of fun. So anyway, that's a good segue to talk about Phoenix. We're going to bring on Dr. Andrea. She's been on the show before, but I thought it would be really good to have her kind of help recap since Garnet's not here a little bit. She videotaped or took photos of the entire conference. Including Snoop Dogg and including Archer's painting. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So let's bring on Dr. Andrea Adams-Miller.
Well, I have a present for you guys.
You do?
Uh-oh.
Yes. So when I met my husband, he had 250 head of Angora goat.
Okay.
So I want to let you all know how to make the proper goat sounds. So I've been practicing for the last 15 minutes.
Your sample goat sound.
I'm going to give you sample goat sounds. So we're going to have to figure out how to incorporate the sounds with the goats. So a baby goat goes, meh.
Ah, hey, that's pretty good.
That's good.
The nanny goes, ma.
Oh, wow. Communicating.
And the buck goes, meh.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You've been practicing that.
I have been practicing.
I got to make a few goat samples and send them to Snoop Dogg for his next record.
There you go.
That's right. They could be little, instead of oohs and ahs, they're goat sounds.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. Great to see so many people in the chat. Here's one for you, Martino. Hi, guys. Missed you in Arizona, Marty, from Lori.
Marty, how kind. Hope to see you at the next one for sure.
It's a lot of fun. So why don't you, Andrea, give us a kind of a recap? Take us on a bit of a play-by-play, or specifically for Marty. I was there, but let's
and the listeners that weren't there.
Yeah, there's some in the chat that weren't there, and there's lots that were. So maybe recap from your point of view.
Yeah, sure. So, when we first got there, we had Sentizi's pizza party the night before, and that was just phenomenal. It's where everybody, like literally looked, oh my gosh, and, had to touch each other and hug each other. It was so lovey embracey. Aviva, a girl who later on in the event said, "You bees are so nauseating. You nauseatingly love each other." And then she goes, I'm actually, she said something like, I'm kind of jealous. I kind of want someone to love on me. And then she's like, I'm a bee.
On you.
Well, somebody came up with the idea of putting name tags on, so it would be like my crypto, whoever, and their Twitter handles or their Discord chat names. And then it's like, oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah. Sabina was commenting on that. I forget her. I know her as Sabina, but I think it's like MG. Oh, somebody will tell us. And then I don't remember everybody by their crypto name or their names. I try to remember their real names. So I was doubly confused. So it was hysterical, Marty, how everybody would go through this sequence of who are you? Who are you? Oh, and then it would be the realization.
Well, you must be, I know who you are.
Yeah. M2 Bounder, I only know him as M2 Bounder. I don't even know his real name right now. So fun things like that was quite fun. And there it is, M2G.
M2G. Nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah, lots of embraciveness, great food, great camaraderie, lovely time. Starstruck meeting Colin. Oh, that's fun.
Very nice.
Oh, so nice.
He's a star.
Yeah. So when we walked into the event of NFT, it looked beautiful. The place was, just looked phenomenal. It looked, super professional. They had everything laid out really great. And as the people coming in and were...
That's so great to hear you and see you too.
Yeah. And it was just really fun how people that, poured in and were so engaged with hearing the different speakers that were showing up and what they were sharing on day
Yeah.
one. They started out with how NFTs are changing business.
Uh-huh.
So it was really a really wonderful way to hear about how people were utilizing them and what they
Right.
were doing with them.
Right.
And then they went into
Good. Old Home Week.
how they were building metaverse communities or Web3 communities. What was your takeaway from those, Colin? And talking with different people. I mean, it just sounds like it's just the innovation is unlimited.
No, I think it was phenomenal that there was such a brain trust in the room. I think what really got to me the most, and this was further on, this was the second day, was the politicians. There was a U.S. senator, a U.S. congressman, a local state representative, and a general from the U.S. military, all on stage, all kind of looking to the community to help them sort of make decisions in terms of crypto and NFTs moving forward, and how that was going to be part of how they're going to do regulations in the future and how should they do things. And it was great for them to come to the community to get some insight and to learn. So thanks to Mark Anthony Cook for bringing those guys, and that was one of my favorite sessions. Even though on the thing it looked like the kind of something I think, I don't know if I'm interested in that, but it was really, really powerful. The very first one was also, to me, what you just said, Andrea, was incredible, because the use cases that I didn't even think of. People were talking about NFTs for real estate. People were talking about fractional ownership for music, and a bunch of different use cases for these. And that was really eye-opening. I took a lot of notes and a bit of video on my phone. I know you've got lots of content from your filming, but I haven't gone back and rewatched those, because I wanted to take a bunch of notes and just kind of let it kind of marinate for a little bit, because like everyone said from the stage, including myself, we're all learning. We're all starting to understand, what can be done in the future with this technology. But it's not just with the technology. I think the big takeaway for me too was the community and the people. And just like you said at Santizi's Pizza, when you saw the name of the face behind the crypto handle, it's like you've been chatting with these people for months and didn't really know who they were, what they looked like. And then all of a sudden you're sitting with them, and you're talking about their kids and talking about their hopes and dreams and things of that nature. So it was a real opportunity to see this community come together. And that was my takeaway right from the get-go.
Yeah.
There's Melanie in the room.
Oh, great. Hi, Melanie. I thought one of the memorable moments was Tal. I'm trying to think of her last name. Navarro, Tal Navarro. So here she is up there pregnant. And I'm thinking, wow, her child is going to be inducted into a new world. Different than any of us can imagine. Like in the short time of her 9-month pregnancy, how much innovation and how much change is going to be taking place from the beginning of her pregnancy to the end. And then talking with other people in the audience. Now, when I'm taking pictures, I only hear half of what people say because I'm concentrating on what's through the frame. So I don't always hear the whole conversation of what's being brought up. But speaking people one-on-one during breaks and lunches and so forth, I was hearing so much more about other innovation for health informatics and healthcare technology, and how we can utilize the webverse for all of the metaverse and Web3 for all of this new innovation that's coming. And so I'm really interested in exploring that with the background I have with neurofeedback and neuropathophysiology. It'll just be really intriguing to see how we utilize these things so that we bring a higher performance of ourselves.
Wow. I'm starting to get texts and comments coming in, and this is fun. Everybody's watching on YouTube and on Facebook.
We
And
also had a really great representation of different people from different cultures and different parts of the world and different experiences and how they engage within the world. Everything from is it Kim Merkel? Is she the single mom? I may be. I think that's correct. Who talked about how she became an influencer, talking about her life and how she does things, to talking to Aviva, David, and Becky. I think it's called Litvinhawk. I'm probably butchering her name, but they were talking about how they're utilizing all of this and for publicity and sponsorship in a different way. And since that's kind of my field too, we were talking about how we play together and how that looks. And then we had the panel that talked about luxury and how we bring in things, which was hysterical, by the way. I'm really, really good friends with Craig Shaw. And so I'm like, what the heck are you doing here? I just saw him a couple of weeks ago and he's like, oh, why didn't you tell me about this? And I'm like, oh, I told you about the bee community 2 years ago. But it's funny though, because over time, even though I've talked to people about this, I didn't have a year and a half ago, I didn't have the confidence or the surety of what I was saying to be able to talk about it. And it's been interesting because I just saw him at an event. I don't even think it was 6 weeks ago. And I talked about the bees there and talked about selling our NFTs right in front of him. And that didn't land. And so it's a really good observation for all of us to realize that no matter how many times we're dripping this information on our friends and peers and clients, they may not be hearing it or understanding what we're talking about. So it's definitely a different way for me to think about who I've talked to in the past and how to get them to see what it is.
It's funny. I saw him in the green room, and the first thing I said is, "Nice watch," and he goes, "Oh, I make those."
Yeah. Yeah, him and his wife Shelly, we've been friends, I don't know, like 7 or 10 years. So it's just been really funny. In fact, I should have my watch. I saw him back in November, and I was supposed to be taking watches to go to the American Foundation for the Blind, and the timing was just off. And he said, "Get him next time." And we're like, "Okay, cool." And we haven't seen each other to make that all happen. So it's just
there's a good one. Phil, very nice.
Oh yeah, Phil was super interesting, super great to sit and talk with him about security and IT and how to handle all of the things that are coming up and how things happen in the world. And that was quite fun. We had another woman, Mechzilla, and Clay. Is it Teresa Clay? Clay is her last name. She was phenomenal as well. Big, gorgeous hair. Super fun. Sharing their different experiences on how they're doing things. And Sonia, I'm trying to think of her last name. Sonia was phenomenal. I'll pull it up.
I've got her.
Sonia Ahuja. She had her Orbis 86 information there. And
she got one of my CDs.
Nice.
I performed a couple of songs at the hotel after hours, and she happened to be sitting there, and I happened to have a CD in my backpack, which I gave to her. And I always carry one, so I'm going through the airport, and if something's going on, it's like, "Here, I'll give you one of these if you let me go." Is that you? Yeah, it's me. Oh, okay. On your way. You never know. You never know who you can bribe with the CD. Just kidding. It's a lot of fun. You have to carry something with you. It's a little bit of promo. Marty knows that.
Oh, speaking of carrying things with promo, Sonia was carrying these. A couple of us were gifted these little tiny bee charms. So a little honeycomb and a little bee.
Wow.
So I've been wearing my little bee.
Isn't that nice?
This has been, it's really worked well. I always wear my heart, and that always is a conversation starter. I wear this old tarnished heart that I've had for years. Yeah. And then now people are asking about that because they notice that this necklace looks old. So they always say, "So what's up with that? And what's the story?" Because
you added a bee. You added a bee.
Old up necklace, but now I got a little bee on there, and that's a great conversation starter to what did the bees represent? So
cool. Well, it just so happens that Starwire was at the event,
Yes.
And we had two announcements. The first announcement, the first day, was the announcement of our DAO. And I got to sit on that panel. And Andrea, you sat on a panel too. You were very good on that.
Why,
That was
thank
awesome.
you.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Um,
I'm certainly not an expert on a DAO, but we're kind of learning as we go. And what was fun about it is that I got to sit beside some really, really smart guys, and I had lunch with them. And the conversations got extremely deep and extremely technical, but I actually found myself being able to follow along a little bit,
Really?
which was really great. And so it was exciting to announce that. And we also, maybe Andrea, you can tell them a little bit about, and I think most people in this chat were there, about the film project that Starwire is
Working
embarking
9
upon.
to 5, what a way to make a living. Yes. So Gary and Larry were there, the twins, and Camille. I can't think of any of their last names right now, but they were there to
Gary
share
and
with
Larry
us.
Lane.
Lane, thank you. And Camille, do you know Camille's last name?
Camille Hardman, I think.
Yes, Hardman is correct. They were there sharing the Working 9 to 5 documentary and what's going to be happening with that. They have some really great imagery, cartoons, memes that have been recreated to that will be shared with people that they can have. If I understood correctly, Colin, they're going to be like mutations of those, so that'll be out and be available to people through an NFT. And
Yeah,
super
we're
great.
going to do their own NFT and then merge with some other women's groups and really make it a movement. Not that it's not already a movement, but I think my daughters have never seen 9 to 5, so now this will be an opportunity to sit down with them, watch the original, and then watch the documentary 42 years later, if you can believe it.
Now, part of the reason for this is that the Equal Rights Amendment has not been ratified in all of the 50 states. And so they would like that to happen so that there's equal pay for women as well as men for paychecks and some other different layers among that. And that is all in collaboration with, Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin and Dolly
Parton.
And
Yeah.
my granddaughter she just turned 6 recently, and 2 years ago she was singing a song, and I said, "Who sings that?" And she says, "Dolly Parton." And assuming she didn't know who she was, I said, "Well, do you know who she is?" And she goes, "Yeah, Dolly Parton gives me my books. She sends me books all the time." And so here my granddaughter knew a lot about Dolly Parton because of her give back to community with all of these children's books that she's been donating for. The story has it that I think it was her dad that was illiterate, and so she wanted to help other people be literate. They also there's a song by Dolly and Kelly Clarkson that will be released. They talked about like maybe letting us see a sneak peek or hear a sneak peek, and then they realized, we cannot do that. We are under contract. We cannot do that for you. So it was fun just to be able to talk about it.
Well, I saw it and I heard it, and it is wonderful. And I think Kelly Clarkson just announced that she's doing that. So I think it won't be long before everybody gets a chance. Marty, have you got any Dolly stories?
No.
Kenny stories? No.
Kenny played
any Jane Fonda stories?
No Jane Fonda. Kenny played here in Vancouver, and I did the show. He did it in the round, and they actually had him, but not rotating round and round like an Ontario place. He was actually played to all sides of the room. He walked around this circular stage and played to all sides of the room with the orchestra down in the pit area, like with a conductor. It was pretty cool.
We should get Marty Edwards said his Dolly that he performs with.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get her on Startalk Live.
She'd come on. Remember, she said she'd come on.
Yeah.
And now she's doing Judy Garland.
Okay. Well, we want to talk about Dolly Parton because we want to talk about the 9 to 5.
I think she's
still working 9 to 5 documentary.
Yeah, for sure.
Which
Yeah, I love it. People are writing me too. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing on Star Talk tonight?" It's just it's because Marty loves me. That's why.
That's right.
it's because of this.
Old home.
That's why Tim's got it right. No, everybody was at a conference in Phoenix, Arizona over the last week and got a chance to meet people face to face. It's been the first event that I've attended out of the country. Let's put it that way. I did my shows and I just booked 2 more shows, Martino,
wow.
coming up next week.
Very nice.
So the things are starting to open up quite a bit, which is exciting. And so more live music, more live events, more chances to meet at Santeezy's face to face and find out who people are.
Oh, those chicken tenders were wonderful, by the way. I wish I had a Ziploc bag to fill to take with me for the rest of the week.
Believe me, we all thought about that. It's like,
I had a feeling.
Give me a napkin and a pocket. Let's get some of these out of here. These are great. Oh, Portillo's. I remember that.
Yeah, there you go. Just stuff them in. It was super wonderful.
Yeah.
So we didn't even talk about the entertainment. So the entertainment started with I don't know who the young man. I never heard the young man, the one who sang first before Deanna. Do you know who he was, Colin?
She told me prior to around sound check. I didn't see him at sound check, but trying to get an Uber, as you know, was pretty difficult. So we didn't get there in time to hear him, which is too bad.
That's right,
because
I was driving you.
You were driving me, and the reality is he's really quite good. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing more from him, and we'll contact Deanna. Maybe we'll even have him on Star Talk Live to do a song for everybody.
Yeah, it sounded great. I was scrambling to put my equipment together, and I'm like, and he's done. And so I missed him. And Deanna did wonderful, by the way, as always. Super delightful, super friendly. Lots of energy, super cute. Sounded beautiful. So
she was fun.
Exciting. Yeah, that was very, very fun. And then Snoop Dogg came on, and that was hysterical. So, you want to start with that, Colin?
I don't know where to begin. I didn't know what to expect. And then when Snoop hit the stage, and so Marty, you have to picture, well, maybe you'll have to send Marty a couple of shots. I think I posted one on my Instagram, but he kind of had his DJ set up and the backdrop that was going and flames and the sound in there was pretty loud. And a lot of people really loved it. That's not really my kind of music, so I didn't know any of the songs.
No.
But it's Garnett's era. He loves that, and his boys love that kind of music. So.
Well, I had a little giggle. So the first, so he's DJ Snoopadelic for all of it. I keep wanting to say Snoopalicious instead of Snoopadelic. So he comes out because he's under contract, so he can't do a concert, but he comes out to DJ for us, and he did pleasure us all with a song or two. And I had to giggle because I go to do a video, and I'm like, oh my, because I'm hearing some of the words, and I'm like, I don't really know that I can play this for anyone. Not G-rated. And then he takes a big, huge joint and lights it up. So there you go. So but then it was interesting because then things changed, because then he was into his DJing, and Marty, it was the most hysterical thing at the end of the night. When people were asking me, what was it like to be with Snoop Dogg? I mean, it really ended up being when you think about being with a couple hundred people, but they're all close and cuddled together, it ends up being more intimate.
True.
I would have said, I really feel like I just sang karaoke with him all night.
Oh.
We were singing, Sweet
Caroline on here.
Bum, bum, bum. In fact, Deanna and I did a video. Somebody videoed us doing it, and he's in the background, and I'm cracking up going, this just, it like disturbs your brain. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, we're singing these 80s songs and, fun group songs, with Snoop Dogg. So it was
Cool.
hysterical.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you got the painting signed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
So that was an interesting weekend because the whole time. Well, can you hand me that tube right there?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Magic tube.
So,
Come
I
on.
gotta-
you're gonna see my tube. All
I
right.
know what's.
So
I know.
I've been carrying this tube around.
You know
and
what's
now
in it.
I know what's in it, and I hold it like this whenever I leave anywhere because I'm so afraid to have it out of my possession.
It's actually an anti-tank missile, and she puts it on her shoulder.
Well, people are probably wondering when I said I just saw Snoop Dogg and then I have something like this. They're probably going, "Is that a big joint?" No, it is not.
Or is it ticking? Is it ticking?
So this is this gorgeous, huge painting.
Yeah.
The painting I had
That's good. I
these
like that.
2 6-foot men hold it up, the top
Push
of
it
their
to her.
head, so that I could
Mm-hmm.
photograph it earlier on. So I photographed it first before it was signed, and then originally I was approved to get it to be able to photograph him signing it, and then things happen and timing, everything. And so I got the you're out sign, which I was like, oh man. So then I was just nervous. I'm like, just get it signed, please.
It's done.
And it got done. So of course I didn't know it for hours, so the whole time I'm like, please get that signed, please get that signed.
Get that
And
signed
it's
or you
really
left.
gorgeous painting of Snoop Dogg's face. It's white, and his skin complexion is gorgeous in it. Just beautiful. It looks like a photograph, and of course it's this beautiful painting. And it is signed right here, Snoop Dogg, right here on the forehead. Perfect.
Archie will love that. Archie will love that.
Yeah, it's really good because it's main focal point right there in the middle of the face. And so the funny story then is it's the end of the night. I mean, I can't get in there for forever. I'm like waiting, and the place is locked down. I mean, there's
you needed Marty there.
I needed Marty there. And Sonia,
I would have got in.
Yeah, you would have. Sonia was there getting her stuff rolled up. He signed some of her Orbis 86 posters and so forth.
Right.
And so they're helping me roll up the painting because we're trying to be all careful with it and everything, get it all, tubed up and put away. And the table was up there, and I noticed the table was dirty. But I wasn't thinking about it. I lay my book back on there, and I open up my book bag, get on my camera, take all the pictures for the after, with it signed. Get that all put away, get everything else picked up. There was Michelle and them had all had left. There was like some Orbis stuff laying around, and Sonia had already walked away from me. So I thought, oh, well, I'll take this. I don't want to leave it here. It'll just get thrown out. We'll make sure it either gets back to her or passed on to people who would appreciate it. Cool. And so I'm gathering up whatever's left over, get my book bag, I leave. And then the next day, I got invited to go to the Madison Square Gym to watch some of the boxers practicing. Wow. Brandon Hughes is participating on March 5th. While I was there, they were asking about getting logos for Brandon's shorts to be on ESPN. And they were wanting to get those from... to thank Josh for the connection and the sponsorship of them all, whatever they worked out together. They wanted to love him. Josh is right there. And so it was funny because I'm there taking pictures because they asked me to take some pictures of the place, and I'm taking pictures. And Nick, the director, he's on the phone with someone, and I hear him say, "Let me introduce you to Andrea." And he's messing with his phone, and he clicks it. And then I hear, "Oh, I already know Andrea." And I go, "Oh, that's Vince. Vince Wicker was on the phone with him." And then I said, "Oh, well, does he need the NFT Connect or bees?" Because at the time I didn't know. And Nick was standing there beside me, and so I don't know if it happened or not. And Nick goes, "I think we might be able to do both." So I don't know, but definitely NFT Connect, what I heard, got on the short. So we'll have to watch ESPN on March 5th. and in
Really?
Fresno and see NFT Connect be represented and
Wow.
possibly the bees as well. So
The bees.
super exciting. Yeah.
Very cool.
And then so it just was really cool, all this collaboration of all these amazing people getting together and coming around. But back to my backpack. So while we were there, I kept smelling pot. So and I was surprised because I'm like,
At a
"Hey, these
Snoop
assholes
Dogg concert.
can't be
No.
around pot,"
Wow.
and then so I and
Good
so
world.
yeah, I didn't think anything of it. Well, then later I'm somewhere else and I smell it again and I'm like, what the
Wow.
heck? And then I'm at the airport sliding out my bag and all of a sudden there's this dirt from my backpack all over the carpet of the back of the rental car. And
Wow.
it dawns on me that was all of his pot from the table that my
Wow.
book was in. So I smelled like pot everywhere I went, all over the airport. Oh,
Well,
good.
you're
Good
lucky
thing you
got
weren't
through
flying into. Good thing you weren't flying into Mexico.
Woohoo.
You have the dogs walking around as soon as you
Oh, they
land.
would have been all over me. I just was oblivious to. I mean, I just thought it was
That's
dirt. I
insane.
wasn't paying any attention.
That's
Crazy.
so funny. What a great story.
It is a good
Anyway, it was really great to meet you and to meet all the folks from the bees and other people. Got to meet some very, very interesting characters and some very intelligent people, which was exciting. It was great to see some of the programmers behind some of the StarWire projects that,
that was
we only communicate with virtually, and to see people face to face. And wouldn't you guys agree in the chat? Do we have any questions out there? I think it was a real eye opener for a lot of people to be able to meet face to face after, this last couple of years. It's been a bit of a challenge. So
And amazing. Some other things too is there were other announcements made about for people who are bee holders, and there'll be more information coming out about that. And I've heard through rumor that whatever bees are left or out there, people are snatching those things up and wanting to be part of them. Certainly people who own a queen will just say they're going to be sitting pretty here for a while. So congratulations for those who have a queen. And
are you shilling bees on the goat show?
Yeah, you do it, baby.
I am. And well, this is the cool thing about all of this is, so the people who didn't know about the bee community and with the goats, they didn't realize how they all tied in together,
Right.
and
Mhm.
how when people
Yeah.
are indoctrinated into one, that we actually became almost like venture capitalists. I mean, we really are, with the seeds that we had in the liquidity pools,
Mhm.
by putting it into StarWire and to be able to support all of you guys and then some other
Nice.
ones as well. So now we got to have little goats. The little goats, I think we need to have little bees on their collars.
Maybe. And then what sound are they going to make?
What? Well, they'll still just say meh, ma, ma.
Oh, that's so good. Well, thanks for being on the show. We've got about 8 minutes left. Happy to take any questions from the chat. For those people that don't know, Garnet's actually in the air as we speak on an airplane.
Yeah.
So he can't be with us tonight, but he will be back next Tuesday. So we've had a real great time with you, Andrea, kind of reminiscing about Phoenix, and we kind of wish you were there, Martino, because you would have owned the show there. You would have taken care of the stage and
Take care of the backstage area,
yeah,
just like old times. Yeah, we
made sure that people got their food on time, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. That's important. That's definitely important. Get to the gig on time. You got to be there, man.
That
You're
was
right.
fun.
Well, Andrea, that was great. You did tremendous for us. We really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. And then I was trying to remember what else Garnet told me to say, but basically because he ended up extending his stay there in
Right.
Phoenix, they were able to get a lot more done for the goats. We're working with the dev
Rich was
team.
saying today,
So-
I spoke with Richie and Garnet today before Garnet left, and he said, yeah, they're putting it together. So hopefully some announcements.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I heard there was
Yeah,
going to be another meeting. So yay.
Thank you, Tim Judge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow when I can communicate and find out what I missed. It's like maybe I should have stayed on a couple days, but
You should have. That's something to show you guys in the collectible thing. We got a few minutes.
Let's see.
Well, this one is when I go to shave my beard off. I've made an appointment. I'm going to go here
Tip it down. There you go.
I'm gonna
Ah,
I'm going here from my haircut and shave.
Maybe you should do your haircut right here on the show.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
So why are you cutting your beard off? What's
Oh,
going
the
on?
end of the series, the Animal Planet, 2 years shooting 8 1-hour episodes called Pets and Pickers, sort of like Storage Wars and that, but the reverse. We take it out of lockers that are donated. We go through it, we itemize it, we put it on into the store and raise money for the animal hospitals as well as the dogs. So it's super. It's called RAPS. And I volunteered there for the last 2 years. And they came to me and said, "You want to be in a dog? What's going on?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I ended up there. Now this.
So you need the beard for continuity. So you look the same in every
but
show.
I can't keep it forever. I don't want to keep it forever. I used to say when I had it, and people would say to me around Christmas, "Well, why do you have this beard?" And I said, "Well, I'm trying out for religious parts, but nobody wants to hire a Jewish Santa Claus."
When you got there?
This one's another one, but this one's sort of like the one with the boxing.
50
rounds and that. So these are all plaques. They're plaques.
Plaques.
Plaques. They're actually plaques. You can mount.
That's the kind of thing that you see hanging in those car garage tire places or whatever.
And
breaking muffler joints.
And stuff
yeah.
I found one for Backman will get a kick out of this one. I wonder what he'll do when he can't do anything because he never wrote it or anything. But the funniest thing is there's one here by the Chambers brothers on Columbia. My baby takes care of business.
Oh.
Which is pretty crazy.
Baby takes care of business.
From those days. And 2 new arrivals, and then we're done at this end. First, we'll go to McCartney. Laser in concert.
Wow.
Classics from the New World Tour.
What year would that be?
This will be 1993.
Huh.
Wow.
So that was a long, long time ago. And then this one, I always wanted it. The John Lennon
beautiful
Sweet Toronto, the Rock and Roll Revival Festival on Laser. Little Richard, Domino, everybody was there in Toronto for that greatest rock and roll thing. Bo Diddley, whom you met in that, Jerry Lee, whom you met, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, as well as the Plastic Ono Band with Clapton and Yoko. So this is amazing.
Have you watched that yet?
No, I just got it. These are my new, they just arrived.
You said it's on Laserdisc. Do you have a Laserdisc viewer?
I have a Laserdisc player, and I probably have one of the largest rock and roll Laserdisc collections, at least that I know.
Yeah.
There could be guys that could take me out at a snap of a finger, but I think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty solid on
cool.
This. But as far as your pinball machines go, and that I've got a call into my friend Donnie, Andrea, to see if he wants to expropriate them or do something with them. So we'll keep that avenue open, but there's definitely some value there.
Cool. Yeah, David mentioned to me that that I should be coming to Vancouver sooner than later. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. And Colin, when are your next 2 shows, did you say?
First one's March 10th, and then another one March 18th, and they might add a second show on the 11th. We'll see. But
maybe post a little calendar as the time draws near on the show.
Yeah, I've been too busy traveling to Phoenix and stuff like that, and working Starwire projects that I haven't updated my website in a long time. You will. But anyway, I just want to shout out to Tim and to My Crypto Adventures and Ray and Will and Dan and who else? Russell
Austin and MT
Josh
and Mark and Richie.
Yeah.
Hey,
everybody, Philip and Will, Harrison, Lori, who else is in here? Melanie. So good that you guys, and Maria, thank you for joining us tonight.
Sure.
And yeah, it's been a great time with you guys when we were in Phoenix, and hopefully we'll get to do it again. Thank you, Andrea, for being on tonight.
Thank you,
Well, thank
Andre.
you for
And
inviting me.
thank you, Marty. And
Yeah,
we're
thank
getting ready to roll the end. And we're not doing a giveaway tonight. We're going to wait for Garnet to do the giveaway so we can whitelist and do it properly.
Right.
So besides, we have the same people winning over and over again. We give it a break for 1 week. So
Also, Andrea, please text me your. I got a phone update and somehow your information dropped, and I had to rely on Colin. So if you could text it to me later with everything, the email, and that's all. I'll input it and I'll have it.
So sounds great. So if you guys see me on an airplane, I'm
Yeah.
going to be cuddling Snoop Dogg because I don't want this picture to leave my side.
No, no.
it's fantastic. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, wasn't that nice? That was
Still alive.